I will be presenting a completed research entitled Teachers Continuing Professional Development in the New Normal, Groundwork for Monitoring, Evaluation, and Technical Assistance Plan.
Teacher development is a never-ending cycle of learning that begins with initial training and continues for as long as the teacher remains in the profession. They must be guided by the type of professional development to engage in, depending on their career needs and career stages. However, COVID-19 pandemic had led to the disruption and brought change not only on the way of life but also on their professional development. Currently, there is an increasing demand for competence of teachers. The results of this research may encourage schools to develop other plans to track career development. The concept of this study is lifted from the researchers' readings on teachers' professional development framework, RA 10912, or an act mandating and strengthening the continuing professional development program for all regulated professions, and RA 10533, or Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. DepEd Order No. 35 Series of 2016, or Learning Action Cell as a K-12 basic education program, school-based continuing professional development strategy for the improvement of teaching and learning. DepEd Order No. 42 Series of 2017, or the National Adoption and Implementation of Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, and DepEd Order No. 12 Series of 2020, or Adoption of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or the BELCP for school year 2020-2021 in the light of the COVID-19 public health emergency. Moreover, Director Gina Gonong of Philippine National Research Center for Teacher Quality stated World Bank's findings that a large portion of teachers felt they needed more opportunities in professional trainings and learnings. Lastly, it is also anchored on Sulong Edukalidad's Kite Reform Agenda on upskilling and reskilling of teachers. The study sought to achieve the following research questions. Number 1. What are the teacher respondents' PPST career stages of development? Number 2. What are the forms of professional development practices encouraged by DepEd Lucena City teachers? Number 3. What are the reasons of DepEd Lucena City teachers for continuing professional development? Number 4. Is there a significant relationship between the teachers' career stages of development and their professional development practices? Number 5. Is there a significant relationship between teachers' career stages and reasons for engaging in continuing professional development? Number 6. What are the challenges that hinder teachers' continuing professional development in the new normal? And number 7. In terms of monitoring, evaluation, and technical assistance, what intervention for CPD needs can be developed? The researcher engaged in a mixed methodology of both quantitative and qualitative approaches in the data collection and analysis, specifically the sequential explanatory approach. For the quantitative part, the respondent, or 314 teachers, lifted from the total population of 1,699 teachers from the 58 schools in DepEd Lucena City. Cluster sampling was employed to make sure that the samples from the entire population were randomly selected. For the qualitative part, there are 10 participants who consented to be interviewed. Furthermore, ethical considerations were also considered. Securing approval and permit to conduct the study was done. The researcher incorporated agreement to Data Privacy Act on the survey questionnaire and prepared a disclosure and confidentiality agreement to the participants of the interview. Weighted mean, chi-square, and frequency and percentage were used in the quantitative aspects, while Brown and Clark's thematic analysis was employed in qualitative part. Question number 1. The graph shows the summary of the PPST career stages of development. It is lifted from DepEd Order No. 42 Series of 2017, with 7 domains and 37 strengths. The highest WOM is personal growth and professional development with 2.44, while the lowest WOM is 2.07 in terms of diversity of learners. It has an average weighted mean of 2.27, falling into proficient teacher. Qualitatively, we arrive at team number 1, teachers' assessment of their career stages, with sub-team 1, certainty of their career stages, and sub-team 2, uncertainty of their career stages. For question number 2, the graph shows the summary of the forms of continuing professional development activities. It is listed from RA 10912 with 6 variables and 4 indicators each. Teachers have a moderate extent of participation on the different forms of CPD activities. They get the lowest WOM on formal learning 1.99, since most of the respondents have low extent of participation in graduate school programs, master's and doctorate, diploma programs, and short courses. On the contrary, they have the highest WOM on online learning activities with 3.12, since most of the trainings and activities are done virtually due to pandemic and existence of IATF protocols. Qualitatively, we arrive at Team 2 or participation to online LAC sessions as CPD activity, with sub-team number 3, conduct of online LAC session, and sub-team number 4, impact of online trainings to self and others. For question number 3, the graph shows the summary of the reasons for continuing professional development. It is from CPD law with 4 variables with 4 indicators each. The summary is an average weighted mean of 3.5, strongly agree. Teaching and learning has the highest WOM with 3.74, strongly agree, while promotion is the lowest WOM with 3.44. Qualitatively, we arrive at team number 3, inclination to learn for self-fulfillment, with 2 sub-teams, sub-team number 5, teacher's aspiration, and sub-team number 6, desire to enhance qualification. Question number 4. Since the p-value is less than the chosen significance level, the null hypothesis is rejected. There is a significant relationship between career stages and professional development practices. For question number 5, since the p-value is less than the chosen significance level, the null hypothesis is rejected as well. There is a significant relationship between career stages and reasons for engaging in professional development activities. For question number 6, the graph shows the summary of the challenges that hinder CPD practice in the new normal. The items were lifted from the readings on the study of Gomba and Cadibone 2019 with 6 variables and 4 indicators each. It has an average weighted mean of 2.55, agree. Existing pandemic condition has the highest WOM with 3.04, agree, while employer and family support has the least with 2.11 WOM or agree. Qualitatively, we have team number 4, experiences where challenges are met, and there are 3 sub-teams. Sub-team number 7, inability to focus due to urgency of tasks over time. Sub-team number 8, inability to attend CPD due to poor line of communication. And sub-team number 9, prioritization of tasks as solutions to challenges. For question number 7, the graph shows the teacher's preferred training needs. The items were lifted from the readings on OECD TALIST, or Economic Cooperation and Development, Teaching and Learning International Survey. The listed possible trainings has an average weighted mean of 3.03 or moderate level of need. Teaching students with special needs has the highest weighted average mean with 3.11 or moderate level of need, while the lowest one was classroom management with 2.87 or moderate level of need. Qualitatively, we have theme number 5, or preference of activities on teaching and learning. It has sub-theme number 10, teaching and learning topics suited to the new normal. The graph shows the preferred modality or delivery of CPD activities. Interactive distance learning and computer-based or virtual training have the highest weighted average mean with 3.15 or moderate level of preference, while face-to-face instructor-led has the least with 2.81. Qualitatively, we have sub-theme number 11, resorting to online activities for safety purposes. The graph shows the preferred phasing for professional development activities. Combination of self-phased and time or scheduled is mostly preferred with 70.20%. Qualitatively, we have sub-theme number 12, comparing self-paced and time or schedule. The next graph shows the preferred monitoring and evaluation for technical assistance. This reveals that teachers wanted a quarterly based monitoring and evaluation of their CPD activities with 43.60%. Qualitatively, we have theme number 6, monitoring and evaluation of technical assistance from SDO Lucena City with sub-theme number 13. SDO Lucena City's assistance through information dissemination, and sub-theme number 13, tracing the impact of CPD to teachers. The findings of the quantitative and qualitative data are parallel in variables and themes. However, the interview gave an in-depth discussion of the actual scenario of the respondents' CPD experiences in the new normal. The qualitative part also revealed the solutions on how teachers continue upskilling and reskilling despite of the challenges they met. Based on the findings of this study, the following conclusions were drawn. Number 1. The respondents are in the proficient stage in terms of their career stage of development, since most of them are in the early part of their teaching career and a large percentage of the respondents are Teacher 1. Number 2, it can be inferred that they have the lowest extent of participation in formal learning or the enrollment to graduate schools, diploma programs, and short courses, since these are the most expensive form of CPD activity, while online learning has the highest extent due to the onset of pandemic. Number 3, there is a significant relationship between teachers' career stages of development and forms of continuing professional development they engage, since CPD can be related to teachers' performance as defined on their career stages. Number 4, there is a significant relationship between teachers' career stages of development and their reasons for continuing professional development, since those teachers who join CPD are those who wanted to improve their way of teaching. Number 5. Teachers regard teaching and learning as the foremost reason why they are engaged in continuing professional development. For them to deliver quality teaching, they must not stop from learning. Number 6. Teachers' greatest challenges in continuing professional development are financial constraints, existing condition, time constraints, and line of communication, because these are the factors that are beyond the control of the teachers. And number 7, it can also be concluded that teachers preferred CPD activities that they can apply to the nature of their work, especially in this pandemic. They prefer their activities to be monitored on a quarterly basis. Modality and pacing of the activities were also suggested on their preference. Based on the findings and conclusions of this study, the following recommendations were drawn. Number 1. In terms of PPSD career stages, teachers must engage themselves in quality-assured activities that could further enhance their knowledge and skills in Domain 6, diversity of learners, since it has the lowest one. Number 2. In terms of different forms of continuing professional development, teachers should pay attention to the least participated CPD activity formal learning such as enrollment in graduate school, diploma courses, and or short programs. Number 3. Since there is a significant relationship between teachers' career stages and forms of continuing professional development practices to advance to the next career stage, teachers must increase the extent of their participation to various CPD in line with their field of specialization. Number 4. Since there is a significant relationship between teachers' career stages and reasons for continuing professional development, to advance to the next career stage, teachers must also have career pathing and aspects that they want to focus. Number 5. Based on the findings and conclusions, as the Lucena City may also consider the suggested training needs, CPD preferred modalities in phasing, as well as monitoring, evaluation, and provision of technical assistance to schools in terms of continuing professional development. And SDO Lucena City for number 6 shall strengthen the assistance of schools in applying and providing NAEAP or CPD accredited professional development activities for teachers. And a call for the next study in number 7 on attendance of continuing professional development activities and impact on teachers' professional development and performance is encouraged. As one of the education program specialists of the School Management Monitoring and Evaluation Unit of SDO Lucena City, I came up with a meta plan on the CPD attendance of teachers. Here are some of my realizations that were spelled out in this framework. Here are the selected references of the study.